Have you ever felt like your thoughts aren't entirely your own? That maybe something outside of your awareness is subtly influencing your decisions? It's not just a feeling, it's a reality. We're talking about subliminal messages, those hidden signals in our environment that influence our thoughts and actions without us consciously realizing it. In today's video, we're going to uncover the science behind these subconscious triggers and how they shape our lives in ways we might not even notice. Whether it's through advertising, music, or even movies, subliminal messages are embedded in various media, guiding our choices in both obvious and covert ways. But what exactly are these messages, and why do they work? To understand subliminal messages, we need to explore how our brains process information. The human brain constantly filters out unnecessary data to avoid overload. This means that much of what we encounter doesn't register consciously, but still affects us. Subliminal messages work by taking advantage of this mental filtering process. Subliminal messages are typically presented below the threshold of conscious awareness. For example, a fleeting image might flash on the screen too quickly for us to consciously perceive, or a hidden sound might be embedded in a song. These messages don't require active thought, but still influence us on a subconscious level. It might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but subliminal messaging has been used for decades. Some of the earliest studies on subliminal messages date back to the 1950s, where experiments showed that people were influenced by hidden images or words in advertisements. Though the results were debated, these studies sparked the beginning of a fascination with subliminal messaging. For example, during the 1957 movie theater experiment, a researcher named James Vickery flashed the words, "Drink Coca-Cola" and "hungry," "eat popcorn" on the screen for just a fraction of a second. The results were staggering. He claimed that sales of popcorn and Coca-Cola increased by a substantial amount. Though Vickery later admitted he fabricated the data, the idea that subliminal messages could have such power stuck. But how does this affect us today? In the modern world, subliminal messages are everywhere. Advertising is a prime example. Have you ever noticed a brand's logo or product placement in a movie or TV show positioned in a way that your brain registers it even though you weren't actively looking for it? This subtle reinforcement can influence our preferences and choices, even without us realizing it. But the question remains, do subliminal messages actually work? Well, the research is mixed. Some studies show that subliminal messaging can influence behavior in very specific, controlled conditions, while other studies suggest the effects are negligible in real-life situations. However, what we do know is that the human brain is highly suggestible, and certain external influences can shape our thoughts and actions, often without us being aware of it. So, where do we encounter subliminal messages? They can appear in ads, songs, movies, even political campaigns. For instance, political ads might include hidden symbols or suggestive imagery that could subtly alter public opinion. These hidden messages can shape our perceptions and preferences, making us more likely to act in certain ways. This leads us to an important question: should we be concerned about subliminal messaging? While most of us won't find ourselves subject to mind control, it's important to be aware of the subtle ways our environment can influence us. From purchasing decisions to our beliefs, subliminal messages can have a significant impact on our behavior. But it's not all doom and gloom. Awareness is the first step to understanding how these messages work and how we can avoid being unduly influenced. By becoming more aware of our surroundings and the media we consume, we can make conscious decisions about what we allow to influence us. Take a moment to ask yourself, how often do you notice the hidden cues in the things you watch or listen to? The more aware we become, the more we can control how we respond to these hidden influences. In fact, many companies have begun using transparency to help consumers make more informed choices. For example, ethical advertising focuses on informing rather than manipulating. So, next time you watch a movie or hear a catchy jingle, remember, it might not be as innocent as it seems. You might have noticed these influences in the media you consume, whether it's in advertising, politics, or even entertainment. In fact, we've discussed the psychology behind how our memories can be influenced in earlier videos, like how false memories are created, where we explore how memories can be distorted by external factors. In that video, we examine how our brains are malleable and how even subtle cues can lead to false recollections. Subliminal messages work in a similar way, subtly altering our thoughts and perceptions. And this brings us back to the Mandela Affect, a phenomenon we explored in a previous video, the Mandela Affect Explained. In that video, we explored how groups of people can remember events in ways that never actually occurred. Another example of how our perceptions can be influenced, whether through memory, media, or subliminal cues. Subliminal messages don't just shape our behaviors, they can impact our attitudes and beliefs. Over time, repeated exposure to subtle cues can reinforce certain ideas, making them seem more acceptable or true. For instance, we might see a brand advertised as being environmentally friendly, even though its actions may not align with that image. Over time, these repeated cues can shift our perceptions, creating a false sense of trust or approval. But there's another domain where subliminal messaging is rapidly evolving: the digital world. With the rise of social media algorithms, we're entering a new era of psychological targeting. Platforms analyze your behavior, what you pause on, what you like, how long you watch, and begin tailoring content not just to your preferences, but to your vulnerabilities. This isn't traditional subliminal messaging, but it functions similarly. Micro-exposures to ideas, symbols, or tones designed to shape your emotional state and influence choices. For instance, seeing a stream of posts promoting a product you never searched for might seem random, but it's often tied to subtle cues you've subconsciously given off. And then there's dark UX. The world of subliminal messaging is fascinating, but it also raises important questions about control, free will, and autonomy. It's a reminder that the human mind is highly susceptible to influence, whether through advertising, media, or even other people's opinions. As we wrap up this video, remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand how subliminal messages work, the better equipped you'll be to make conscious decisions about what influences you. Whether it's a commercial on TV or a political ad, being aware of these hidden messages allows you to make informed choices. So stay vigilant and keep questioning what you see and hear. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to NextReel. We've got more videos diving into fascinating topics, like the psychology behind memory and perception, and we want you to be part of the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think subliminal messages have a powerful impact? Let's discuss. Before we wrap up, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Don't miss out on our future videos, especially if you're curious about more psychological phenomena like the Mandela Effect or false memories, which we've covered in earlier videos. These topics all tie into how our brains process and distort information.